Let's make history. Once upon a time, in a faraway land known as Puerto Rico, there was a black child in school sitting in class, and his teacher actually told the class that black people or African people had no history whatsoever. They had no role in the development of civilization. Imagine how that would make you feel as a child, as a black child, hearing something like that. Luckily for all of us, it didn't affect him negatively, because he knew instinctively that something wasn't right about what they were saying. And he proceeded to spend the rest of his life proving her wrong. At 17 years old, he moved to Harlem, New York, where there was the largest concentration of black Americans. And he began to collect literature and records of great achievements by black people that were happening not only in the Americas, but also back in Africa, going back centuries. And the documents that he collected will one day be used to create the Schomburg Library in Harlem, New York, one of the biggest collections of African history in the world. And his name was Arturo Schomburg.
Did you know one of the most influential curators of Black history was Puerto Rican? His name is Arturo Schomburg, and his work helped create the blueprint of modern Black studies. Arturo Alfonso Schomburg was born on January 24, 1874, in San Juan, Puerto Rico. He moved to New York City at 17 and shortly after became a Freemason. During his first few years in the city, Schomburg worked closely with revolutionary Cuban and Puerto Rican independence groups. He surrounded himself with Afro-Boricuas and Afro-Cubans, and also became invested in Black American culture. Schomburg's life became about rewriting the history of Afro descendants. He wrote about the experiences of Black folks at home and abroad, and dedicated himself to collecting, documenting, and archiving books, art, and other published work across the diaspora. In 1911, he co-founded the Negro Society for Historical Research and eventually served as the president of the American Negro Academy. Schomburg became one of the most prominent figures of the Harlem Renaissance, working with people like W.E.B. Du Bois, Zora Neale Hurston, and Langston Hughes. By 1926, Schomburg had collected thousands of books, documents, and manuscripts important to Black history, and sold his collection to the New York Public Library. He went on to curate the groundbreaking Negro collection at Tennessee's Fisk University and curated NYPL's Schomburg collection of Negro literature and art in Harlem until he died in 1938. While he may not be written about in all of our history books, Arturo Schomburg is one of the fathers of Black history, and he was Afro-Latino.
As a child, my father used to bring me to the Schomburg Library on Lenox Avenue and 135th to teach me about heroes to our people, such as Don Pedro Albizu Campos, Malcolm X, and many others.